How US President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that his administration is continuing negotiations with India to address trade barriers between the two countries. Now, days after warning that India and Russia seem to have lost to China, Trump, in a marked shift of tone, said that he looked forward to speaking to the Indian Prime Minister in the upcoming weeks and expressed optimism that the two countries could reach a trade deal. Now, remember that US President Donald Trump last week said that India had offered to reduce its tariffs on US goods to zero, adding that the proposal was late and that the South Asian country India should have lowered its duties years ago. Well, on this, we have my colleague Vishal as well as Sakshi joining us on the telecast. Now, Sakshi, I wish to ask you, before the break, you were mentioning about, how the Indian economy is resilient despite, of course, the tariff threats, and how, of course, even in an era where there is looming uncertainty over, of course, when it comes to trade as well as other aspects, the Indian economy continues to shine bright. Help us understand more on this.
That's right. With a growth rate of 7.8%, India's economy continues to shine bright and continues to show that, look, India is outperforming the world's largest economies at the moment. So the Indian economy at the moment clearly reflecting that it is resilient. Remember, India has also said very, very clearly and time and again really taken measures for India's economy. The GST 2.0 boost really that India's economy has seen. Remember, experts believe this will not only boost consumption ahead of the festive season, but also give everyone more disposable income at hand and therefore more decisions to boost the economy further. So India very, very clearly is showing that, look, India is taking independent decisions for India's economy, being self-reliant, Atmanirbhar in the Prime Minister's words, and India very clearly saying that, look, India is not taking, looking at what is happening around the world to take decisions for India's economy. Now, that said, as far as analysts and economists are concerned, look, they have been telling us that, look, the small exporters, small MSMEs were really going to feel the hit really coming in from the tariffs. Now, this measure and this, of course, statement coming in beyond the positive signaling is a huge win for for India, reflecting self-reliance, but also for the small exporters and MSME players in our economy. Remember, as far as inflation and jobs for the US economy is also concerned, this is a huge win because significantly what happens when a trade deal is in sight, that, not only will jobs be certain, but investments will then come into both the economies. So really very, very significant there if a trade deal is in sight, is successful. Remember, constantly, we had, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also earlier say that, look, the logic for India's 50% tariff rate is perplexing in totality. So they really, India and economists, analysts all really were questioning what really was the logic for India being targeted, for India being treated like this. And now India's self-restraint, India's clarity as far as India's economic goals are concerned, taking decisions independently of what's happening around in the world has shown that, look, restraint and a strong and firm stance can pay off well.